Hello, my lovely dreamers. Are you feeling the hype for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? I sure am. I know I'm really pumped for Mega Camerupt, but also Mega Beedrill, and also Mega Altaria, and also Mega Everything. God, Mega Lopunny too, man. If you guys have not tried playing the new Meta of the Month, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire OU as they're calling it, or ORAS OU, you gotta try it. It's so much fun. It's so much craziness happening. It's like exactly what I always loved about Showdown, is like the unpredictability and everyone trying new stuff. That's like my favorite part of Pokemon, at least competitive Pokemon, I mean. And that there's a whole meta now pretty much dedicated to that, at least for now, is really awesome. Alright, so let's get into today's Moveset Monday. This moveset is brought to you by Quinlanding. This is a Quinlanding original. He sent this to me from China, and he basically wrote out a little script for me that I'm going to be using. It's a really awesome set. Why don't we get into it? You already know that it's a Mew set. You can see it on your screen. You can probably see it in the thumbnail before you even clicked on this video. But it is far removed from the Baton Pass or Taunt/Will-O-Wisp sets that you usually see on Mew. This Mew literally never fails to do something, even if it doesn't get a chance to show its full potential. That's a quote guarantee from Quinlanding. He calls this the Wildcard, which is why the nickname right there says Wildcard, because it has 4 totally different options every time it gets sent out, and every one of them is useful. So first and foremost, of course, we have an item right here. We have the Choice Scarf. This will allow it to act first on an unholy combination of things, which we will get to in a second. The first move, of course the ability doesn't really matter too much, synchronizes only ability, and of course we're about to explain why it doesn't matter too much, because the very first move is Transform. Yes, Transform. Mew is the only Pokemon besides Ditto that gets this move, and it can use it in exactly the same way as Ditto. Come in and steal stat boost from the set of opponent. What you want to do with Transform is quite simply try to either Volt Turn into it when you expect a setup move, or bring it in as a revenge switch after you lose a Pokemon. Simply transform and predict. And because you've just transformed and steal all their stat boosts, and you have a Choice Scarf, you're automatically going to be faster than them. So you have all their boosts and you're faster than them, which is really cool. Alright, so the next move, of course, is Trick, which you are already formulating in your mind is completely devious. If you don't want to transform or attack, you can completely cripple a wall by tricking at your Scarf. Of course, be careful getting predicted, although it is basically impossible to predict a Mew set. That's kind of the glory of Mew. It's really hard to predict because there's so many different ways you can run it. Look at all these crazy different moves. It has like the most options of any Pokemon ever. Anyway, where was I? Specifically, I mean to look out for Protect users trying to use Scout, and trying to scout what Mew is doing, because that's probably a really good idea. If you see a Mew, you can Protect, just see what's happening without it having any consequences. Just see what the Mew is going to do, and then try to predict from there. And what's the next thing? Wish Pokemon and Toxic Stallers like Gliscor, Blissey, Chansey. Those Pokemon hate getting tricked because they lose their stuff. If you take away a Chansey's Eviolite, then it's pretty much done. If you take away a Blissey's leftovers and give it a Choice Scarf, then it's pretty much screwed because you can only use one move per turn the rest of the time, and it doesn't really like that. And then also Gliscor, if you take that thing's Toxic Orb, and then you can trick that onto something else later. So you can not only cripple that Gliscor with the Choice Scarf, but then also Toxic Orb something, which is just really great. And then the other 2 moves are kind of optional. Quinlanding always runs the last 2 moves as Me First and either Psychic or Psyshock. Where was I? You can also run Zen Headbutt if you want to be a physical Mew. It just changes the EVs, but we'll get into the EVs in a moment. We here at Diglett Dreams love to run the move Me First because it is one of those moves that can do stuff no other move can. For example, coming on a pesky Latios, Me First Draco Meteor right in their face, 1.5 times power as well makes up for the lack of stab. It also works very well on ghost types like Gengar, who are definitely going to want to go for super effective Shadow Balls on the Psychic type Mew. Turn that attack right back in their face with Me First and watch them forfeit. And then Quinlanding actually wrote a little :D smiley face on the script. You can also run either Volt Switch or U-Turn as well, which goes quite well with the Scarf and allows for a lot of utility, as well as a chance to gain switch advantage. So basically, depending on if you want to run a physical or special move, you can try out Volt Switch here or U-Turn. Yeah, it gets both of them, which is really great. I'm just going to leave Psyshock in here because this is the set I like to run. Anyway, finally you have your stab move of choice. There's either Psychic or Psyshock, because then you can sponge up burns when you expect a Will-O-Wisp or a Scald without having to worry about losing your actual attack power. But you can also try running Zen Headbutt, because that's a really powerful Psychic type move. It is a little inaccurate, but it's still powerful. Psyshock. I always have trouble spelling Psyshock. It's such a crazy word. Alright, so that takes us cleanly into the stats. And look at that, it actually does. Just because I typed in the last move, it brought us to the stats. You are going to want to run max HP and max speed. Either Timid or Jolly Nature, based on whether you want to do Psychic, Volt Switch, or Zed Headbutt and U-Turn. Basically, that's all that matters. It's just where you put this little minus. I like to put it in. I like to run. Let me explain why I like to run Special Mew. Because if you run Special Mew, you get 100% accuracy with Psyshock, and you get to take minus attack, and then you can put this 31 IV, you can put it all the way to 0, and then that will lessen the damage that you take from Foul Play and Confusion, because Foul Play is a really powerful move against the physically offensive Mew, but less so if you're especially offensive and you have 0 IVs in attack. Anyway, so Quinlanding has a little disclaimer. He says, honestly, this set works a lot better in UU because that's where Mew has been for a very long time, and he hasn't really tried it too much in OU, but he has been trying it in this new meta of the month, and I'd say it's been working well from what I've seen. This set really needs to watch out for Scizor. It will outspeed most of the time, so you can switch and transform into it, but other than that, it has some trouble doing that. It has some trouble fighting against Scizor because of Psyshock and Me First. It won't really have any offensive moves, but there is, of course, Mew does get the move Flamethrower. So if you're very wary of Scizors, then you have that option. Okay, that's also really good for Ferrothorns. That's what I was trying to think of. So let's see, the best transform situations are ones where you can steal stat boosts and then guaranteed outspeed due to your Scarf. However, you have other options. For example, your opponent sends out Blissey or Chansey, you transform into it and then use Toxic. Now you have Natural Cure, and you can go ahead and use Wish if they have it. Now on the next turn, go ahead and pass that Wish, healing yourself in the process with Natural Cure. That's like one of the best possible situations for a transforming Mew. However, in most situations, you would rather use Trick on a Chansey or Blissey, permanently crippling its ability to be useful. So, of course, if you want to make the crazy play, you can try to do the transforming thing, but it always is a pretty safe bet to try to trick it first. You can also use Transform to get up your own hazards. If you lead with Mew, and they lead with Ferrothorn or something, then you can transform into it and use their hazards against them. And kind of like, or even like a Fortress too, that would work, because, yeah, if you lead with it, steal their setup moves, set up some rocks, some spikes or something, and then maybe they won't be able to get rid of them, and maybe, I don't know. There's lots of really crazy options you can try with this Pokemon. That's the main point behind Mew, is that you can literally do just about anything. That's basically all. I'm gonna see if I have a few clips of Mew in action. Not sure if I have many at all, but we'll try, because that's a really fun thing. I haven't done it with Moveset Monday in a long time. But if you want to keep the dream going, please leave a like and leave a comment if you want. Maybe suggest the next Moveset Monday and anything you've seen on the channel that you want explained, or anything you've heard of that you want me to explain. I'm open to anything. So, question of the day. I'm going to start doing those. What Mega are you most excited for in the new Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphires? Please leave the comment below, and we can have a nice, huge new meta discussion and see how it's going to go. I'm going to say right now, I'm actually really excited for Mega Camerupt. I was just brainstorming a team the other day in my mind while I was at work. I was just kind of working, and in my head, I was in Showdown making a team, and I was thinking of Mega Camerupt running with Heliolisk, and having those two have good synchronization because of Heliolisk has dry skin, and then I could run a really good flying type there too, maybe like Braviary or something, because he could avoid the Earthquake for the other two, and the other two would cover its electric type weakness, and then Clawitzer would be great to cover the ice type weakness, like Specs Clawitzer. I was just basically making an RU team before I realized that there is no Mega Camerupt RU yet. So that one is going to have to wait for a little while, but I am really excited to do it. Hopefully Mega Camerupt will stay in RU, but I'm not sure. I think it has a possibility to be down there, which I think would be a lot of fun, because RU does need a few more Megas besides Banette and a Bombasnow. I think Bombasnow, yeah. But anyway, Quinlanding says he is most excited for Physical Greninja, and I do not blame him because it is amazing. It got so many great new moves with this, with the new leaks and everything. For example, Gunk Shot, Ice Punch, great moves that it really needed, like Low Kick. Oh man. Which, by the way, Low Kick, one hit KO is a classic Scarf Magnet Pull Magnezone on a banded Greninja. So that's pretty powerful. What's his name? What I just said, Magnezone is really physically defensive, so banded Greninja being able to take that thing out is pretty awesome. So look forward to that. We might do another Moveset Monday with Physical Greninja because of all the new moves it got. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, keep dreaming, Diglets, and I'll see you next Moveset Monday. Peace out.